All right, so now we're ready to go and create our first campaign. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go to the campaigns, and then we want to click this area here and go to new campaign. Now, type of campaign that we're looking to do here is with the leads, right? We're looking to capture lead data, and you can see here that it shows you the different types of campaign types. So we have the search, display, shopping, video, and then the smart devices. Obviously, this is going to be for the search display here. So let's go ahead and click on leads. And then we want to go to the search right here, because we want it to come up whenever somebody is searching on Google for crawl space type of contractors. So then let's go down here. And when we come down here, we want to select website visits. And then we want to put in our URL. So you can see here that there's different ones here that we can select. There's the phone calls, store visits, app downloads, lead form submissions. This is a whole different section here. Google Ads has their own lead form submission. So let's go back over here and let's copy this URL here. Let's go to copy. Let's go back. Okay, great. Let's put that in there. Let's go to continue. And then for the campaign name, let's name this crawl space cleaners or cleaning number 1. Okay. And then we want it to be just on the search network. Okay. We want it to be just showing up when people are searching for crawl space cleaners, crawl space contractors. Okay. So let's go down here. Now we want to add the section. So let's say for this one here, we want to add a location just for Seattle, Washington. Let's go Seattle, Washington. Now with the location here, we can get very specific. Let's say we want to target just zip codes, maybe just some suburb areas there, or maybe just targeting specific areas within the Seattle location. So we can really break this down into very specific areas. And if you don't want to just target an entire city, you can go ahead and target just the zip codes. And that will actually allow you to get a little bit more granular with your targeting. And we can also do a specific mile radius around a specific city. However, just for this one here, we're going to just leave it at Seattle, Washington. One key point here that I want you to look at and keep in mind is the location options, okay? We want to make sure that we're targeting only people in that area. Notice up here how this has people that are searching or that are interested in the particular location, right? We don't want that. We only want people that are in the Seattle area, okay? So we want to select this one here. Make sure we're good there. Don't worry about the audiences here. This is just for setting up our initial campaign. Okay, now going into the budget and bidding section here. So this is essentially how much we want to spend per day on Max. So let's say, we want to spend at least $50 each day. This is obviously going to vary depending on the offer, depending on, what type of campaign you're looking to run. And when it comes to the bidding here, we have two different options. We have the option where Google will maximize the clicks. And so they're essentially going to maximize your spend of $50 per day to make sure you're getting the most clicks. However, you can also set a maximum cost per click bid limit as well. And I would test both of these. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just go with the maximized clicks. But then other times it's also going to be advantageous to set a bid limit here. So let's say that you want to have a maximum cost per click limit here of $10, okay? And you want to really keep in mind what type of keywords you're going after, right? Are they very competitive keywords? Do they have a high cost per click, right? So very important to make sure that you have done your research. If you are doing the cost per click here as far as the manual bidding. And what this does here is that, let's say that somebody is also bidding for the same keyword and they have a max CPC limit of $8. So that means that you have a max CPC limit of $10 and they only have 8. So your ad is going to get shown for that keyword. Now, you're not going to spend the max $10. You're going to spend a little bit more than they had in their budgets. So we mentioned they had the $8. We would pay a little bit more than $8, right? But we wouldn't pay the max $10 that we have. We're just going to pay a little bit more higher than what the previous bid was. So really all this means is that you're willing to pay up to $10. However, you're not always going to pay that because the person that you're bidding against may be only bidding $8 and you're only going to pay a little bit more than they're bidding. Then we're down here on the show more settings. And this is important here to make sure that you have the actual schedule. Because let's say that you have a local business that only operates Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday in a specific time, right? So we would go down here and we would set, let's say, just Monday through Friday. And we would put, let's say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Let's go, where's it at? 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, great. And so now we know that the ad is going to be ran 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And you got to keep in mind here that if you're running ads for clients in different cities, different states, different time zones, you want to make sure that the time zone is appropriate. So for me, I'm in the West Coast and I'm on the Pacific Standard Time. And if I'm working with an East Coast client, then I'm going to lower this, right? Reduce this to, let's say, 3 hours prior. So that would be 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So just make sure you have the right time zone in here set up so that it reflects when your client is actually in operation. Next, we have the ad rotation. And so what we want to do here is we want to rotate indefinitely because we want the ads to be showing all the time. Because sometimes Google would not optimize appropriately, so it's up to us to make sure that the ads are rotating indefinitely so that we get as many leads as possible, right? That is our intention, our goal here, our objective is to get as many leads coming in the door as possible. So we're going to go to rotate ads indefinitely. And so essentially what's going to happen is, let's say we have 2 ads, okay? And whenever a keyword is searched that we're actually bidding on, we're going to have ad number 1 show up. And then the next time that another keyword is searched that we're bidding on, our second ad is going to show. And then the next time it's going to go back to our first ad. So it's going to go first ad, second ad, first ad, second ad, and it's going to rotate both of those ads indefinitely, okay? Because this is really giving us the split testing that we're looking for, because we can see, okay, if 50% of the time our ad number 1 is being shown and then 50% of the time ad number 2 is shown, we can really gather some important data there and not just use Google and go off what they're recommending. We want to be able to get some real data there. And when we're showing one ad after the other and we're rotating them, we can really maximize our optimization. This section here, the ad extensions, we're going to skip this for now. We're going to go to save and continue. And now we're here on the first ad group here. And depending on how many ad groups we want to have, I would typically say anywhere between 2 to 4. So we're targeting different aspects of that service. Because with this particular example, we have crawl space cleaners and we have several different types of services that are going to be under that. And we can have various ad group keywords that are targeting those services. So for this one here, we're going to have crawl space cleaning. And then we're going to have specific keywords around cleaners, cleaning contractors, right? Everything that has to do with crawl space cleaning. Then we're going to have an ad group over here, and this is going to be crawl space installation, okay? So another set of keywords, right? This is another keyword ad group here that has everything to do with installation. Up here, people are looking to get their crawl space cleaned. Down here, they're looking for installation in their crawl space area, okay? So this is typically where people are looking to save money on energy efficiency. They're looking to, go green. So we want to make sure that we're keeping this separate than somebody who's looking for cleaning, right? And depending how different the keyword ad groups are, we're going to want to have a separate landing page. So for example, with crawl space cleaning, we're obviously not going to have people go there that are looking for insulation, right? We only want people to go and actually land on our landing page that talks about cleaning, because that is providing the best user experience, right? And so on this one here, whenever somebody's typing in the installation keywords, we're going to have them go on a landing page that talks about crawl space insulation, right? It's relevant, it's congruent to what we're actually targeting, and it's providing the best experience for the user. And so for this here, this is where we're going to put in our keywords. Now I'm just going to put in some sample keywords here. We're going to go in depth into each particular plug and play offer. So let's go crawl space cleaning contractor. We'll just put in crawl space cleaning, crawl space cleaning, crawl space cleaning contractor. And remember, with the keywords here, we can get exact match, we can get a phrase match, or we can get a broad match. So making sure that you have done your keyword research, you know what type of keywords you want to target, and you're able to put these in here accordingly. Like I said, this is just an example. We're going to go through different campaigns in a lot more detail and more depth. And this one here is just an example. So let's go ahead and go to crawl space insulation contractor. Well, let's just leave that one there. And then we'll go to crawl space insulation contractor. I mean, we can have a bunch of other ones here. Crawl space insulation contractor near me, right? So let's fix that there. Okay, great. So that is what we're going to have. And then over here, we can see our daily estimates. Again, this is just an example. So let's go to save and continue. And so here we can see how the ad is going to look. And when we go up here, we're going to look at the headline 2, headline 3, and this is where we're going to actually lay out the ad. And so with headline number 1 here, we'll type in need crawl space cleaning, question mark. No worries. We got you. So nice and simple there. It's really just talking to that particular individual that is searching. Obviously, they're looking for crawl space cleaning services, and we're adding a little bit of unique twist, right? We're not just putting keywords into the ad. That's what a lot of people will do. If you'll notice in different of the ad campaigns on Google, most people, what they're doing is just putting in the keywords, because the keywords are obviously important, but they're just putting in like crawl space cleaning, call us, we are good, or we are great, we've been in business for 30 years, right? But that is not going to be enticing enough to get people to want to click, right? Versus somebody who is asking a question, who is talking to the user, who, you know, is making it enticing enough for them to want to actually click on the ad, right? And we can add a third headline here if you want. This is brand new, but we want to make it as short, sweet as possible, so that we can, you know, answer the question or get to that user, or have that user be able to click on our ad as quickly as possible without too much information, right? And so here on the display pad, basically what this allows us here is to add any kind of extension here. So let's say we wanted to have here free quote, right? Or we can have, let's say, free estimate. And so it allows us to add this extra piece of information here to the URL, so that it is more enticing for the individual to want to click on the ad. And here's the thing with the display path here. It's always going to go here. However, this is just more for advertising purposes, you know, spicing up the ad there. So don't worry about it going to this actual page here. It's not going to go there. So what we can do is even change this like this. We can go to free, go to estimate. We can go like that. Actually, that doesn't even look that good. I would just go with free quote, and then that should be just enough there, or free estimate, whatever that may be. And so here we have the description. So let's go ahead and add that in there. Let's see here. Let me take some of this away. Healthier. Make your home healthier and more efficient, energy efficient by servicing spaces you don't want to go. So obviously here, this doesn't make sense. So let's go ahead and see how we can change this. So let's put this down here. Let's put make your home healthier and more energy efficient. And then let's go ahead and add this here. Put a period there. Let's see here. We service the spaces that you don't want to go. See, nice and simple. Make your home healthier and more energy efficient. I would even actually change this here. Make your home healthier and more energy efficient. We service the spaces that you don't want to go. Perfect. Okay. Don't worry about the ad URL options. And then now we have the second ad here for the crawl space installation. Okay. So this one here, we can go ahead and just copy some of this up here. Let's see here. Need crawl space installation. Okay, no worries. We got you. Okay, great. And then we can put free quote. Okay. And then let's copy this here. Because of the crawl space installation, it really helps to maintain the energy efficiency of the home. So we can actually even have this be the same, except for the main headline here talking about insulation. Okay. And we can even put this up here, and we're typically going to have a unique page here anyways. So this would already have crawlspaceprocleaners.com and then / the free quote for the installation, right? So this should be good here. So let's go ahead and copy this one here. Let's go to the description right there. And then because we're talking about similar topics, this is where we can keep pretty much the description the same, and all we got to do is change the headlines. Now, if we want to make this even better, this one would actually go a lot more with the insulation, because with the insulation, that is making the home more energy efficient. And so what we can add here, instead of the make your home healthier, more energy efficient, we can just pretty much put we service the spaces you don't want to go. And so let's go ahead and just change this around here for a second. I want to show you how we can change this. So let's say we can put Seattle's #1 crawl space cleaning company. Okay. Or, contractor, whatever that may be. We service the spaces you don't want to go. Perfect, right? Now we're talking about the actual Seattle #1 crawl space cleaning company, and we're making a statement there, and then we're telling them that we service the spaces that they don't want to go. And then down here, this is more relevant because we're talking about making their home healthier and more energy efficient. Now, I'm just running through a quick example here of the different types of description, the different types of headlines. We're going to go in a lot more detail, in more depth into the different offers, the plug and play offers and ads that we have in this particular program. This is more just an example of how you can get set up a campaign very quickly. So now that we're done here, let's go to save and continue. Okay, so it looks like we have a policy violation here. Let me go ahead and just change this Okay, we service the spaces that most don't want to go. And then down here, we services the spaces that most don't want to go. So let's go ahead and change the headline 2 here to no worries, we got it covered, because it's not letting us use you. Let's change this right there. No worries, we got it covered. Okay, so that should be good there. Okay, great. So now we are ready to go, and we're ready to continue to the campaign. So that is essentially how we set up our campaigns, how we set up our keyword ad groups. Again, this is just an example walkthrough of how we would go through and set up a campaign with the different ad groups. We're going to go into the specific ads and offers in this program with specific keywords that you can target and use so that you can plug and play for your clients. So that's going to be it here for this one, and we'll see you on the next one.